Look, we all know these stock images of wooden tiles spelling out inflation look like they were pulled from a craft fair gone wrong, kinda low budget, right? And yeah, sometimes the footage doesn't perfectly sync with what I'm saying, because we're just a couple of amateurs piecing this together in a garage setup. But stick around, because the real talk on how inflation is messing with your wallet or maybe even helping the economy. That's gold. You won't find fluff here. It's straight-up useful stuff to help you navigate this mess. Ever wonder why your grocery bill feels like it's plotting against you? But economists are out here debating if a little inflation is actually good for the economy. Yeah, that's the wild world we're diving into today. Rising prices that hit your daily life but also keep the gears turning on growth. Buckle up, because by the end, you'll see inflation not just as a buzzkill, but as this sneaky force shaping everything from your rent to job markets. As those tiles settle in, let's break it down from the basics. Inflation, at its core, is when the overall price of goods and services goes up over time, eroding the purchasing power of your money. Think of it like this: that $5 coffee from 5 years ago, now it's pushing $7 and your dollar doesn't stretch as far. But it's not just random. There are key measures to track it, like the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, which tracks a basket of everyday stuff: food, housing, gas, you name it. Then there's core inflation, which strips out volatile things like food and energy to show the underlying trend. Why does this matter? Use these to set policies that affect interest rates and borrowing costs for everyone. Diving deeper, inflation isn't uniform across the board. You've got goods inflation, like cars or electronics, versus services like haircuts or rent, and they don't always move in sync. In recent years, we've seen services spike harder because of supply chain hiccups and wage pressures, while goods cooled off post-pandemic. Experts generally say this relative development helps predict where pressures are building. If services keep climbing, it signals stickier inflation that's tougher to tame. And don't get it twisted. A little inflation, say 2% a year, is the sweet spot for steady growth, but when it surges like it did recently, it squeezes households. Picture a family budgeting for school supplies. Suddenly, everything costs more, forcing tough choices between essentials. Shifting to that stack of cash on screen, it's a reminder of how inflation plays out in real money terms. Historically, hyperinflation has wrecked economies. Think worthless currency in places like post-WWI Germany, where people wheeled barrows of cash for bread. As experience over the last few years, it's more insidious. Steady climbs driven by everything from pandemic spending to global events. The ripple effects, they flow through commodity futures, oil, wheat, metals, that jack up costs downstream.